Good morning. I'm at my beautiful Slickrock campsite here south of Moab, Utah. I slept for about 11 hours last night, so I'm feeling pretty good. The first order of business this morning is to refill all of my water bottles. These are the water bottles that I use during the day while I'm driving around and while I'm hiking. And then this is the spray bottle that I use for brushing my teeth and washing my hair sometimes. So I need to refill these bottles. I carry my water in a big 4-gallon jug like this, and then these smaller 3-liter jugs. So normally what I do is I use these bottles to fill up these, and then as these get empty, I fill them up again with this water. So I'll take one of these out and start refilling. All right, I've unscrewed the lids of most of these to make the pouring go faster. And I have a little funnel here that I'll use to help pour the water. Anyway, you get the idea. And this little funnel was, I think, $1, maybe $2 at Walmart in the camping section. It's a nice little funnel for this purpose. After I have my breakfast here of Pop-Tarts and a fizzy water, I will hit the road. Wow, this is super cool. I don't think I've ever seen such a large concentration of petroglyphs before. This is maybe 10 feet high and 25 feet across. That was awesome. The petroglyphs range from about 2,000 years old to the turn of the 20th century. So really interesting, really beautiful section of rock art there. All right, let's continue onward. So here I'm driving through an area called Indian Creek. And this is an interesting area because it is, I would say, it's one of the top 2 rock climbing areas in the United States. And the reason for that is, you see all these cracks on this cliff in front of me? That's why people come here. Indian Creek is world famous for its perfect crack climbing. There are cracks that are, you know, of all sizes that just go for hundreds of feet, and you know, that don't change in width that entire length. So when Europeans, for example, come to America to go climbing, Yosemite is one of the main areas that they go to, and Indian Creek is the other one. You can see these beautiful, beautiful cliffs here. I'm not here to go rock climbing though, so I won't stop or anything, but I just wanted to share that with you. Just miles and miles of cliff band with lifetimes worth of rock climbing. And then off to the left there we've got the Bridger Jack Spires and north and south 6-shooter peaks. This is such an awesome area. So I turned off of the main road and I'm on this little side road now, heading out toward the Canyonlands National Park boundary and Davis Canyon. But you know what? This road is just too rough for me. I don't want to drive this road anymore, so I guess I'll turn around. I've gone 8/10 of a mile on this road and it's been pretty rough. I think it's 8 or 9 miles to get to where I wanted to go, so I don't really want to put my car through that. So back to the drawing board. I think I'll go back to the main road and then turn left to head into Canyonlands National Park the normal way. And then I'll go see some pretty viewpoints and things like that, overlooks, scenic overlooks. Once I'm there, I'll figure out what my next plan is. Sometimes you'll see that a road is marked 4-wheel drive on a map, and it's really just a pretty good dirt road. But sometimes it really is a 4-wheel drive, high clearance road. And since I drive a RAV4 and not a Land Cruiser, there are times when I need to turn around. Okay, so let me recap here. Right now I am in Canyonlands National Park. I'm in the parking lot of the Needles Visitor Center. So there are a few different districts, a few different areas, a few different sections of Canyonlands National Park. There's Island in the Sky, there's the Needles, there's the Maze. Right now I'm in the Needles. I did not plan on coming here. I wanted to enter the national park via that dirt road that I was driving down, and then go explore some Native American ruins over there. I did not plan to come to this part of the park. It is the weekend. It is crowded. I don't like coming to national parks on the weekends. I came here because I was, 10 miles from the entrance already, and I have a national parks pass, so I've never been to this part of the park before. I'm going to go into the visitor center. I have a map here, but I want to go see if I can get some information on maybe some short little hikes or overlooks. I think I just want to drive to an overlook or two and then leave, just get some nice views, some nice vistas, and then leave. I don't want to spend too much time here because, again, I'm kind of crowd averse, if you haven't noticed by my videos, where there are basically never other people. So I got an idea of a few hikes that I think I might do. This one goes to a little Native American ruin. It's 0.3 miles round trip, so it seems pretty easy, pretty short. And the ruin itself is 700 years old. All right, not much to see, but not terrible. A little granary back in there. Well, I'm not entirely sure that was worth doing. If it had been any longer than, I guess, the 10 minutes that it took me, it wouldn't be worth it, but I mean, it's right by the road, 10 minutes. I guess if you're looking for something to do, it's worth doing. If I'd known I was coming here, I would have found some more obscure hikes to do, but again, I wasn't planning on this, so I'll just do what's listed in the brochure. So this is an old cowboy camp.
You okay? Just for moving out, folks.
That spring was one of the few year-round water sources in this part of the park. So it was used by Native Americans for a long time and then by cowboys and ranchers later on. Crossing the Slickrock up here. Got a view of the Needles in the distance. One interesting thing I read on one of the signs was that cattle grazing was allowed in the park until 1975. I don't know when it was made a national park, but I'm guessing it was before then. So that hike, the Cave Spring Trail, was worth doing. That was pretty cool. That first one, not so much, but this one was pretty neat. The Cowboy Cave, you know, I mean, it's looked pretty staged, and there's a wooden barrier in front of it, so you can't go look at the things. So that's not great, but those pictographs were awesome. All those handprints on the wall, that was really cool. And then the Slickrock, walking along the top of the Slickrock, that was neat too. So this hike, worth doing. Okay, so I'm about to hike the Pothole Point Trail. So there is no real trail here. It follows cairns across the Slickrock. Here are some of the potholes. And here are the Needles out here. This one still has water in it. These other ones don't. And again, the Slickrock is just covered in little potholes. This is a great hike. I really like this one. Those little weird, prehistoric pothole creatures, those were fascinating to watch. They were wrestling and fighting and digging and trying to crawl up out of the water, and it's really fascinating. Ugly little things. Hideous. Well, that was a fascinating little hike. Also definitely worth doing. Again, 0.6 miles, took me less than 20 minutes, I think 17 minutes. Gonna consult the map again and head on to the next little adventure here in the national park. Walking now to the Big Spring Canyon Overlook. that was a nice view area. There weren't any guardrails or anything like that. You can kind of just wander wherever you want. So that was really, really pretty nice. It wasn't a huge sweeping vista like the Grand Canyon or anything like that. It's pretty small canyon, relatively speaking, that you get views of, but worth seeing, worth stopping at, I think. From this same parking area, I'm now going to go hike the Slickrock Trail, which is 2.4 miles long. It says this trail features expansive 360-degree views. Trail crosses uneven surfaces. So let's give that a shot. That was another very enjoyable hike. That one was about 50 minutes long for me. I was hiking pretty fast the whole way. I think I'm done in the park now. I've had my fill of people. I think there is one more viewpoint I might stop at. There's an arch that you can see from the viewpoint, and that's on my way out, so I might as well check that out. And then I think I'm going to head to the town of Monticello. That's how we say it in Utah. It's not Monticello, it's Monticello. So I might go there and then find a campsite somewhere in the mountains, in the Abajo Mountains above Monticello. Overall, I've enjoyed my time here in Canyonlands National Park, but just too many people for my liking. I've reached my fill, my quota for the day, so I'm ready to head on to greener and less frequented pastures. But first, I think I'm going to treat myself to a little bit of lunch, some Triscuits, cheese, and pepperoni. Perfection. So this is the arch viewpoint that I wanted to check out. Wooden Shoe Arch. It's a pretty good name for it. Does look like a wooden shoe, doesn't it? I realized that there's a back roads way to get to Monticello. It goes up into the national forest up here, and I might actually just camp up here instead of going to Monticello today. I might just go tomorrow. It's only 2:30, but I kind of like the idea of just hanging out for a few hours while there's still daylight. I haven't really had that yet on this trip. Beautiful mountains up here. Again, these are the Abajo Mountains. You can actually drive to the highest point in these mountains. I don't know what the condition of the road is, but I might check that out tomorrow. I just passed a sign saying that I was now in Manti La Salle National Forest, and there's a 14-day camping limit. Beautiful fall colors up here. I just pulled over to check out this campsite, and I saw 4 or 5 turkeys. I saw a deer. It's a pretty cool area. There's even a little creek, tiny little rivulet. This is a beautiful area, beautiful spot, but it's a bit close to the road. The main campsite is where my car is. Then the road comes back here, and I could park and camp right here. think I could even probably see the cars on the road from this campsite up here. There's another little side road that I passed that I want to go check out before I make the decision. But I think I could be quite happy here, especially back over there. Again, this is the main campsite area, and you can see the guardrail of the road out there. Well, this was the other road that I was going to check out, but I don't like the vegetation as much here, and I don't like this road. This road isn't as good, so I think that last spot is going to be it. Let's go back. I just had like 5 or 6 deer just barrel through camp. Scared me to death. Jeez, just heard these cracking sounds, and all of a sudden these fast moving objects were jumping at me. Oh, anyway, so I'm back at that first campsite, and I'm actually at the little spot that was closer to the road. This first little pull-out area. This area is nice too, and I might move up there to sleep, but I don't know. I just want to be in this flatter spot for now. I get asked all the time how I find such great campsites that are away from other people. And usually I just say that I drive through BLM land or National Forest land on whatever main road there is, and then I keep an eye out for side roads that branch off of that main road. And so let me show you the little side road that I came up to find this campsite. So here's looking one way on the main road. Here's looking the other way on the main road. And the road leading to my campsite is this little guy right here. If you blinked, you'd miss it. That's the kind of place I like to look for. I just spent about 10 minutes using my little $3 Harbor Freight trash picker-upper. And I picked up about 29 or 30 pieces of trash. And it's just amazing how much of a difference that makes. When I first drove into this little spot, I got out of my car, looked down, and I could see several pieces of trash. And just spending 10 minutes picking those up, I don't see any trash now when I'm just looking. And so it makes a big difference just for the feel of a campsite. So I really encourage people to do that, and it's kind of fun. Like I think I said before in a previous video, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt to see how many pieces you can find and what weird things you can find. Also, I hit a bird as I was driving. You can see his little feather stuck there. Sorry, little guy. Found a couple more little feathers. Boiling some water now to make some lemon ginger tea. Well, I think that'll do it for this video. Just gonna spend the next couple of hours until dark relaxing and drinking tea and listening to podcasts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's adventures. Leave a comment and let me know what your favorite part was. And thanks for watching.